You've said you forgave them. You've tried to move on, but your body still reacts like it's happening all over again. Tight chest, numbness, flashbacks, or worse, complete shutdown. What if forgiveness wasn't a decision, but a rewiring of your brain, your nervous system, and your identity? Let's talk about what forgiveness really means and how to actually get free. We've been sold a myth that forgiveness is this clean, empowering choice, that once you let go, you're done, you're free, you've healed. But for people who've been deeply hurt, betrayed, abused, abandoned, it doesn't work like that. Forgiveness doesn't start with closure. It starts with survival. Yes, journaling helps. Meditation has value. But when the pain is stored in the body and not just in your mind, those tools are like painting over a cracked wall without fixing the foundation. This video draws from trauma theory, somatic psychology, memory reconsolidation, and neuroscience. But more than that, it comes from real stories, real patterns I've seen again and again. You're not broken for struggling to forgive. Your brain and body are actually doing exactly what they were designed to do. When someone hurts you deeply, the pain isn't just emotional, it becomes physiological. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, explains that traumatic memories aren't stored like normal ones. Instead of being filed neatly, they're fragmented, trapped in your nervous system as raw sensations, emotions, and impulses. So even if you've moved on intellectually, your body hasn't. That's why you can feel triggered years later without warning. Why you hear their voice, or a song, or a smell, and suddenly your body is back in the moment. Not metaphorically, neurologically. This isn't weakness. It's your brain doing its job, keeping you alert to potential threats. Your amygdala doesn't distinguish between past pain and present danger. That's where forgiveness gets complicated. Because to forgive, your nervous system needs to feel safe. And how do you feel safe when the wound was caused by someone you trusted? Forgiveness is often framed as a moral achievement. You take the high road, you rise above, you let go. But here's the reality. You can't mentally override something your body still experiences as danger. Your rational brain can want peace, but your emotional brain is yelling, never forget, never trust, never let this happen again. To truly move forward, we need to look at the core components of real embodied healing. Here's what science and experience show us. 1. Memory reconsolidation. Memory isn't fixed. In the early 2000s, Karim Nader, a pioneering memory researcher, and Joseph Ledoux, a leading neuroscientist known for his work on fear processing, made a groundbreaking discovery. When you recall an emotional memory and introduce a new emotional experience, your brain can actually rewrite the memory. This is called memory reconsolidation. It's not about denying the pain. It's about becoming someone who doesn't collapse under it anymore. You revisit the memory in a space of emotional safety and let your brain update the story. 2. The body must release the story. You can't logic your way out of trauma. Somatic therapies, Peter Levine, Pat Ogden, show that unresolved trauma lives in posture, breath, tension. Sometimes your body is still holding on to a scream you never got to release, or a sprint you never got to run. Forgiveness becomes possible when your nervous system completes the story. Not just intellectually, but physically. That could mean shaking, crying, trembling, or even just finally exhaling. 3. The biology of letting go. According to Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory, the vagus nerve plays a key role in signaling safety or threat. When we feel safe, physically and emotionally, our body shifts out of survival mode and into what's called the ventral vagal state. That's when healing, connection, and even forgiveness become biologically possible. If your body is stuck in fight, flight, or freeze, no amount of reasoning can force it out. You have to co-regulate first, then process. 4. Betrayal versus abuse, the critical distinction. Forgiving betrayal and forgiving abuse are not the same. Betrayal wounds your trust. Abuse wounds your sense of safety. You might eventually rebuild trust with someone who betrayed you, but abuse? That's about reclaiming yourself. You are not responsible for their healing. You are responsible for stopping the cycle from living in you. 5. False forgiveness as a trauma response. There's a name for this: fawning. It's a trauma response where you appease, forgive, or smooth things over, not because you're okay, but because your nervous system thinks it's safer to please than to push back. Here's the part no one says. Forgiving too early can deepen trauma. If your body isn't ready, if your boundaries haven't been rebuilt, letting go just becomes another form of self-abandonment. That's not healing. That's survival mode dressed up as maturity. If this is clicking, if your inner definition of forgiveness is already changing, subscribe. In the next video, we're diving into how trauma changes your brain and how to change it back. Because real healing doesn't happen in theory, it happens in your wiring. So what does real healing actually look like? It's not a single moment or milestone, it's a series of internal shifts, each one reclaiming a piece of your power. Here are 5 transformative steps that form the real path to healing. Step 1. Forgiveness is not re-entry. Forgiveness is not reconciliation. It's not pretending it didn't hurt. It's not giving them access again. It's saying, I don't need you to be different for me to be free. Step 2. Self-compassion includes rage. Dr. Kristen Neff's work on fierce self-compassion reminds us, anger is not the opposite of compassion. It's sometimes the root of it. You don't have to smile to be healing. You get to be furious. You get to be protective. Forgiveness includes your anger. It doesn't erase it. Step 3. Forgiveness as identity alchemy. Here's the shift. You're no longer the version of you who needs closure to move on. You become the version who says, I'm not defined by what they did to me. I define me now. This is where forgiveness stops being a task and starts becoming a transformation. Forgiveness does not equal forgetting. Let's make this clear. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. Your brain doesn't owe anyone amnesia. Forgetting is passive. Forgiveness is active. It's not pretend it never happened. It's I won't let this shape who I become. Step 4. Forgiveness in a world that doesn't apologize. Some people never take accountability. Some systems never say sorry. Forgiveness in that context, it's not surrender. It's defiance. You don't get to take more from me, not even my peace. Step 5. Collective wounds, private healing. Some wounds aren't personal. They're generational, cultural, inherited. You may not be able to change the system, but you can refuse to carry the pain into the next generation. Take a moment. Who are you still carrying? Not in your mind, but in your body? Let that question breathe. You may not be able to fix the past or fix them, but you can stop the wound from living in you. And that one act, that one refusal to pass it on, is enough. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes and say, I forgive you for holding on so tightly. You were just trying to stay safe. Not to them, to yourself. You don't have to forgive in one grand, noble gesture. Sometimes forgiveness is as quiet as a breath you didn't know you were holding. You forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you do.